Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the types of keys. First one is candidate key. There can be more than one attribute as candidate key. Each tuple are uniquely identified. Any one attribute can be a primary key from the candidate key. Has here example shown for an student entity, register number, phone number, email address. These all are uniquely identified. They are uniquely identified to differentiate each tuple in a table. Okay, they take the different, that is they won't accept any redundant of data. Register number won't be same, phone number won't be same, and the email address won't be same. That is what they are uniquely identified in each tuple. But any one attribute from the candidate key is taken as a primary key. For example, register number, phone number, email are the candidate keys. But any one from the candidate key has taken as a primary key. That is what register number. The next one is super key. Super key, it is the set of attributes which are uniquely identify a tuple is known as super key. Constraint has tuple 1 in super key. We should not be equal to tuple 2 in the super key. That is what tuple 1 from one relation, tuple 2 from another relation should not be same, won't accept any redundant data which when we specify the super key constraint. Constraint on null values. It helps us to decide whether null values are allowed or not. Next one is foreign key. Foreign key is a set of attribute, say in relation schema 1, that is table 1, that find match has a primary key. The table 1, that is R1, relation schema R1, this acts as a foreign key. In this table, one attribute acts as a foreign key. It finds the matching with the primary key attribute in relation schema R2. Okay, here that is tuple 1 from the relation R1. Tuple 1 which is mentioned as a foreign key from relation schema R1, it finds the matching to the tuple 2 of primary key attribute in the relation schema R2. Okay, that is what that is. Think that one table from one table, it is R1. In a table, a particular attribute which is mentioned as a foreign key refers to another table, that is R2. In R2, it takes the primary key attribute as a primary key attribute. It finds and it tries to see a matching between those two tuples. Okay. Next one is entity integrity constraint. Primary key value in a base relation, that is table, should not be null and redundant value. The main concept in an entity integrity constraint means that the violated when we are try to manipulating the data into a table, in in that table itself we find an violation, that is what, entity integrity constraint. The same table we are finding an error in the same table, that is what, entity integrity constraint. Let us consider an example as a create table student by taking two attributes, register number, the data type is number and constraint is primary key, name varchar. Insert into table name values ram, but here the register number is a primary key. What is our definition? The base table should not be null, else the redundant, that is what, repeated data. Okay, here the register number is not mentioned, therefore it takes as a null value, right? But as per our definition, it don't accept any null data. But as I said that entity integrity means when we are manipulating data, inserting the data into that table itself, that is entity integrity constraint violation. We find an insertion violation, the entity integrity constraint in, that is register number primary key should not be null. Therefore, insert into table name values. Now we have inserted the register number as well as name. Now the row has been created. Right? When we are trying to insert the repeated data, as we saw the one condition, that is null. Now we are going to see the repeated data. Okay, when we are going to give the repeated data, that is redundant data, we find an insertion violation constraint, that is register number primary key should not be redundant value, that is repeated value. The next one is referential integrity constraint. The name itself shows that referring, we are going to refer to the other table. When I am referring, that table become a foreign key. The referring table will become a primary key. Okay. The foreign key value fk, foreign key, in R1 referring to find the matching of primary key value in R2, that is register number, by considering two example, student R2. R2 is a relation to student. Register number which is mentioned as a primary key, name varchar 20. 20 is the size of an data type. The second example is R1 department D name varchar 20. Department number, here observe here, department number, it is an attribute, references, this department number is acting as an foreign key. From R1, department number is acting as a foreign key. It is referring to the student, that is relation to R2 student. Register number which is mentioned as a primary key. Register number which is mentioned as a primary key. Primary key in R2. That is what? When the R1 relation D number will become an foreign key which is referring. Referring means we are going to find and matching to the other table. Referring means referring to the other table. When I am referring, my table attribute becomes a foreign key. The referring attribute table, the referring attribute register number is an primary key. Student is an R2. Okay. Now we are going to insert the data. Insert into table name, values, that is student, values, register number and name. The data is accepted. Result is accepted. Again insert into department, values, CS. CS is a department name. 126 is an department number. Okay, 126. Now we have inserted the register number as 111, where 126 does not find and matching with register number. As the definition said, the foreign key of R1 department number should find and matching with primary key value of R2, that is student. There is no matching, so the insertion violation referential integrity constraint, department number and register number values are not same. Therefore, to remove that violation, again we are going to insert the updated data. Insert into department values CS111. Now the result is accepted. Row is created. Okay, this has been shown in diagrammatical way. Think this is R1, sorry R2, this one is R1. The register number and department number must be same. It find and matching with the register number and department number. That is what? Referential integrity constraint. Entity integrity constraint is nothing but the data when we are inserting in that table itself, the data should not be null or redundant value. If we are going to manipulate, if we find some violation in that table, we get an entity integrity constraint violation. Referential integrity constraint violation, when we are going to refer to the other table, my table will become an foreign key, the referring table will become an primary key. At that situation, they find and matching. If they won't find and matching attribute, matching tuples, then we get an referential integrity constraint violation. Thank you all.